all of this, all of this, all of this action, a bit of this, it just feels too intense right now. Too much. So then I turn to my favorite part of the world, right down the bottom, literally grinding up against this ugly grey border. We have this little beauty. I feel like there's an opportunity here. So with the starting year of 1936, because something's going to happen in 1939, and we are in no way ready to defend these precious purple borders, let alone consider expanding abroad, I'm going to start right here. Under the leadership of Michael Joseph Savage, the democratic regime. Brilliant. Let's begin. I think I'm going to leave historical AI focuses off, because I don't intend to take it a particularly historic route, so why should anybody else have to? First up, good leadership, as we know, always comes from the top down. We need to select a national focus. First and foremost, let's focus on turning this little rock into an industrialized little rock full of soldiers. I need to actually tell these rocks what to do. We're going to get them building more factories to build more factories to further build out this rock. Ooh, they are already fairly full. And of course we actually need to make some changes at the top here. Michael Joseph Savage may not necessarily be at the helms of these great purple rocks for much longer. For starters, I think we need to think about building up some influence to get some proper political advisors on board. Always a good idea to set a research focus as well. I think we should probably look into things such as basic machine tools or construction. Let's figure out how to construct. That seems like a good place to start. I might also get the electronic mechanical engineering. Let's get the electronic mechanical engineering. Good. The beauty of starting in 1936, when the world is still at peace, even in some of the darkest of places, there's relative peace still at this point, is that I have time on my side. We've got years to build up to think about goals like maybe Fiji, or here, New Caledonia, currently owned by France, maybe even the bloody Australians. Who knows? Either way, we've got time, and I can, of course, up the top right here, control it myself. Looks like we do have a sorry excuse for an army already here. Might pool all our resources to Wellington. That seems like a good idea. Oh, and the Germans are embroiled in a civil war. I'm sure that'll be fine. It looks to me like this kind of independent New Zealand, the Lee affair, this is the way we want to move. So let's push through the first Labour government and then consider our path to independence. Okay, since you last joined me, it's now the 25th of October 1936. We've appointed Henry Mackenzie here, who's providing Point 1 daily communism support. This, aligned with a growing national spirit of the Workers' Party, providing Point 02, you can see that over time, the country's ideology is shifting. CPNZ, what I can only assume is the Communist Party of New Zealand, slowly gaining support. The German Civil War is over, and the German military junta took 13 states, and the German Reich was annexed. I think I'm going to use this national focus tree for two things. Firstly, continue on my sort of industrialized path over to the right here. Things like New Zealand steel, proud New Zealand style. And then also over on the left here, this tree excites me. The Ratana Alliance. We can go down the Māori Affairs Act, adding building slots, extra manpower through the Māori Battalion, volunteers, the Waitangi Tribunal. All very exciting things. There's a lot to unpack. Let's keep building up this great little nation, one steel plant in the North Island at a time. And also, don't forget, we're learning. We're learning how to use computers. And maybe one day, nuclear bombs. Never mind what's going on over here in Spain too. Yikes. The Hindenburg has fallen. Austria's voted against reunification. And class conflicts. Hold on. Pause time. Class conflicts are starting to divide New Zealand. A change in popularity for communism, up 5%. However, stability, down 5%. Let's see what happens. Ooh, and it's time for us to... Hold on. Someone's playing a game of Marco Polo and something went really quite badly wrong. We've actually got, for the first time, an opportunity to train some divisions. District Force or Armoured Division. I mean, these are all going to be awful. Oh god, we're using horses. Actually, that's far too difficult. Cancel that. Let's just train some basic divisions. Oh, okay, so quick check-in. It's the 14th of August, 1937. It's about 2 p.m. to be precise. And we've just granted ourselves the ability to become a free, autonomous country out of the dominion, the shackles of the British Empire. Brilliant. We're also unlocking an extra research slot, and the CPNZ party, led by Elsie, is now at 35% popularity. 1 in 3 New Zealanders believe in their cause. Oh my god, it's October 1937 and the Soviet Union's just declared war on the Soviet Union. Things are going very odd in this alternate timeline. On the bright side, the wired upper sheep farms are about to be completed in 70 days. So everything's looking up in New Zealand. Ooh, class conflicts continue to divide New Zealand in February 1938 here. Another notable 5% boost for the cause. Oh, goodness gracious. Look at this, actually. It's about to flip 50-50. As my other goal that I'm working on here through my research, and Japan and China, and Yan'an just joined Japan. Everything's kicking off over in Asia. Oh, good God. Tensions are running high between the US and Japan. Loads of stuff's going wrong. All I was going to say was, I'm going to work on Marines, because I feel like that's a good idea for us. So it's January 1939, and I thought it would be important to note that the world is a very different place from what you might expect, even for the period. You can see, for example, that old Trotsky himself is in charge of the Union of Soviet Republics, not to be confused, of course, with a very similarly named, historically accurate Soviet Union. Speaking of, communism is on the rise in New Zealand. Do we need a referendum? Yes, we do. And with that, you can see that New Zealand has now become the People's Republic of Aotearoa. And if we click in, firstly, we have a fantastic new flag. Oh, why did nobody suggest that a few years ago? And more importantly, we have our first female Prime Minister? Question mark? Either way, Elsie is in charge now. We're part of the Allies, so we've still got all of our mates, right? Our ideology hasn't changed that. Don't worry. The Republic of the... What is this? Kuwait. Don't worry, we're still in alliance with Kuwait and British Malaya, so everything's totally fine. It's August 1939, and just because we became communist and got a new flag doesn't mean we're done yet in our journey to convert the country. Take a look at this. I applied through my national focus tree to become part of the Comintern. And what do you know? In this alternate reality, Union of the Soviet Republics, or whatever it's called, it doesn't matter, because the People's Republic of Aotearoa and the 4th Internationale will march side by side. Ladies and gentlemen, we've just joined the Comintern. And with that, a call to arms comes from the Union of Soviet Republics. I don't know. I just not really quite ready for that. We might just ignore the French, the Romanians, and Yugoslavia on that front as well. But what I was saying is that we still have extra things that we can and should do here. Like, for example, technology sharing with the Soviet Union. This seems like a good thing for me to do. I've also been slowly chipping away at my naval support and working away on these policies over here, like the Māori Affairs Act. Ooh, these requests just keep coming through. They just won't leave me alone. I also think I might need to shift us towards war economy now as well. This will give us more people, more military factories, easier to convert. Looks good to me. We've also figured out how to build Ford Jeeps, which is another great... Oh, look, more requests. Go away. I'm researching. I'll be with you in a few years. Oh, Germany and Poland have just gone at it. It's January 1940. The German Empire Coalition. As expected, this new German Empire is just absolutely gobbling up Poland like there's no tomorrow. It's a bit of a shame. Let's just hope that nothing bad happens with Paris while the Netherlands continues work. Decolonization of the British Empire carries on, and Poland has capitulated. Warsaw has fallen. Jeez. You know what? I might actually just head over here to my peaceful little communist purple rocks over here in the People's Republic of Aotearoa while I continue to decline the call to arms from my friends. The British royal family have publicly disappeared. What actually captured my interest was this, though. This decision over here. Unite Polynesia. Request control of Pacific Islands. France gets event. The People's Republic of Aotearoa requests control of French Polynesia. Let's just give this a go. What's the worst that could happen? I'm going to issue this demand. France accepts! What? Okay, so we've just become the owner of Tahiti and Nendo. Oh my god, we did! The People's Republic of Aotearoa. It's got to be said, the Communist People's Republic of Aotearoa just grew larger today. Wow. Look at this. Let's build an air base on our newly acquired island. Let's also get naval bases. Brilliant. Okay, after some battery requirement issues, I've fixed it, and I'm now building 1940s destroyers. These bad boys, which are actually already a little out of date. Here we go. Now we're talking. These bad boys. Look, they are what they are. We actually are suffering some big resource constraints as well. Look at this, -10 on aluminium. So, let's try and trade with the Soviets to get 8, right? That's good enough. Okay, so up here in Fiji, it seems to just be controlled by the Melanesian Federation. I'm probably stronger than them. So I'm going to work on a justification to take everything they have. Great. I should probably also give a bit of a global update. It is, after all, 1942. Nearly. We're a few months away. I'm still getting calls to war from Britain to the Canada populous state. Have a look at this. Have a look at the state of this place. The Canada populous state is in charge in Canada. Very good. Europe, the Germans actually relatively held back in this alternate history timeline, where the union of the Soviet Republic stretches out and in. All sorts of conflict going on, though. France looks to be being swallowed up, so not a lot has changed there. Let's crush the bourgeois dictatorship of the Melanesian Federation. Yep, great. So we're working on that war support, and then we'll head in and see if we can take them down. Bourbon France just declared war on Free France as France capitulates to Germany. Okay, so just gonna do a little bit of the old naval invasion thing. Destination Suva. Great. Here we go! Just like that. Oh my god, as if it was meant to be. Justification for conquering Fiji and all of its surrounding islands for us has finished. Let's declare war. Conquer will be our goal. Whabam. We did it. I didn't give them enough warning, so we're just going to kind of stand around for a few days. Or should we just move in? Either way, let's have a look. We are at war. I could call my allies, of course. We could bring the Soviets in. They look to be struggling already. I could call the Brits in on my war. That's kind of funny. That's quite funny. There we go. I've just called the Brits in, and it seems to have just completely thrown the world into chaos. The Americans have joined on the Melanesian side of my war now. Yikes. Quickly, send in the invasion. Sir, you forgot about the boats. Oh, crap. Okay, so I have naval superiority now in both regions with literally 2 boats. 2 boats. If I up the speed and we pass through literally 10 more days here, you can see the invasion will take 70 days to prepare. I was somewhat of a bad commander, I'll admit. Bam! Let's go. Straight into Suva. Suva, obviously, the big goal here. If we swap over onto the naval view, you can see I have strategic superiority here. I also have air superiority, as my naval bombers are flying over West Polynesia right now. I feel like this is a kind of overkill. Look at this. Here we go. Let's slow down this speed a little bit. You can see that I've just immediately taken Suva. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Where should we head next? Seeing as we have air superiority and naval superiority over this Western Pacific region, I think what I should do is station a few troops here in Suva. I don't think anybody's going to come to their aid, but you never know. The Kingdom of Italy is justifying war against me at the minute, and I'm running low on manpower. We're running out of people to sail these boats. Let's head over here and take Samoa anyway. The People's Republic, of course. I think by capturing this, as it's literally undefended. Amazing. I think by capturing this, it will unlock me some new abilities and features as well. Let's have a look. Alrighty. I've drafted another naval invasion. We're going, to be honest, to stretch a little further than I would have liked. It's quite far away from the People's Republic of Aotearoa homeland at this point. But sure. Let's draft this invasion. It's only going to take 35 days to plan it out. We'll see what we can do. And it is now the 7th of October, 1942. My division is ready, but we don't have naval supremacy anymore. How did I lose it? Oh boy, I really did. Okay. Quickly pause the game. I have it. Let's do it. Okay. Go! Unpause and go to Tarawa, a province in the Gilbert Islands currently owned by the Melanesian Federation. Of course, they have literally no troops, so I'm just going to hoover this bad boy up as well. Great. Where's your capital now, punk? Over here. Oh, jeez. Alright, let's plan another invasion. Things haven't been faring so well for poor old LZF over here in charge of the Communist Republic of Aotearoa, so I decided to call in all of my allies and really just go balls to the walls. Let's see what these people can do if we let the world turn into total anarchy. I noted that my good friends... my good friends from the Union of Britain, not to be confused for any Britain that you may be aware of, have sent some ships to the Pacific to help me out in my efforts. So far, Elsie, even though she's ran into deep trouble, has of course expanded, don't mind the heavy rain clouds and smog, has expanded the influence of the People's Republic of Aotearoa up here. We've taken French regions, we've taken former British colonies, we've taken Micronesian, Melanesian colonies as well. At the moment, of course, this is Fiji in the capital of Suva. So we've expanded our influence well up into the Pacific, and we're currently been drawn into a big old war between the Americans and the Brits. Communist Britain and the Americans are currently fighting me. I'm going to keep my troops positioned in Suva, try and fortify what we've got, and hold the great influence of the People's Republic of Aotearoa. Haven't quite been able to snag any more foreign influence grabs yet, like establishing a government in the state of Samoa, but I'm going to continue to issue propaganda against the Japanese. I'm going to continue, of course, to censor the press and appropriate the rail system and land for the mighty Communist Party of the People's Republic of Aotearoa, New Zealand. If we have a look around the world as well, just a quick global update as we move through into 1944, indeed heading towards the historical conclusion of the war, you can see it's a bit of a hot mess, to be honest. Bourbon France is clearly, currently, the victorious French party, the non-aligned French. We have communists in Britain. We have the German Empire, which is just, sadly, defeating the motherland, the Union of Soviet Republics, as the Japanese also move in and look to swallow it up. It looks like we're going to be taking a big L this time. The Canada Popular State also somehow not looking quite so popular here against the United States. I note that there is a United Mexican States down here as well. Clearly not on our side. It looks to me like this game has been a game of two halves. The wider war has been lost, and we've decided to align ourselves with, by the looks, the losing powers. However, this has been a great victory for the People's Republic of Aotearoa. Ugh. Ignore that message and look at this. Our expanded influence into Fiji, into French Caledonia, right up into the Pacific, into Polynesia. Next time, I think I might look Never Eat Soggy Weet-Bix west and turn my attention towards this great green blob. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you'd like to see more Hearts of Iron 4. Maybe some live streams, maybe some more focused content with a slightly more powerful nation next time. Either way, I'll catch you then. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.